Well, hello everyone, and welcome to planbterraform. This is the demo of this game. planbterraform is coming to Steam soon, so feel free to add it to your wish list. They're also on Discord as well as a Steam forum. So we're just going to jump right into it. I played a little bit of the game. I'll start a new planet. We'll just randomly name it. The name's irrelevant, and it's an interesting type of, I guess, automation type exploration game. You'll see once you get into it. Your company has been mandated to manage the resources on the newly discovered planet. You must bring supplies to the cities and manage terraforming projects. Good luck. So this here is our planet. I mean, I played through a few of these and they basically look all the same. It's just like they're a bit differently laid out. This one looks like there's some volcano action here. I don't know what this is supposed to be. We're just going to turn all this down. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It just says item name mountain, so there's nothing actually what it is. So, good parts about the game is, the controls are okay. It's interesting, and the bads are kind of goes along with it. So, the idea is you have different ore nodes. So, the bottom left of the screen here, it tells you what you're hovering over. It tells the temperature, min and max temperatures, the altitude, latitude, longitude. I'm assuming that comes into play later in the game. We have patches of iron, we have patches of aluminum, we have patches of sulfur, which you make concrete out of for some reason, and you have patches of fluorite, and then I think there is, if you click on it, it tells you what it is, and I think there's another ore somewhere on the map. Aluminum. So there we go. So anyway, we have three cities. We have Jakarta, we have Johannesburg, and we have Lagos, or Legos, I guess. And the idea is to bring resources to them to expand them. And right now our population is at 9. We have to expand things. Top of the screen has temperature. It has the year, the date, and then your speed controls. This is your objective window. Over here is your map, top right. Default view. You have mineral view, which is actually a pretty good view, by the way. And this is water view, which there's no water because there's ice. At the top, I guess, is just ice. Now, I don't know if you terraform things, because eventually you can add things like plants and special buildings and terraforming itself. So, so let's go back to the main view here. The left-hand side of the screen is your kind of building menu. And the way this game works is you cannot handcraft anything. You have to make everything inside of buildings or manufacturing hubs, I guess you want to call it. So let's just start right here, because we're gonna have to go. I want to find some iron ore. It's not too far away from our other cities. One thing I don't like is the zoom feature. So you zoom in and then you're in. If you zoom back out one time, you're all the way back here, and the zoom is very, very touchy. This is a hexagonal type game. You can see the little hexagons. So when you're placing buildings, you have to place them so they're touching each other, at least adjacently on whatever side you need to touch them from. And basically, we have this is the city, basically. This is just a little thing, and these require concrete to expand. So the first thing we have to do is go to our objective window. Objective, build 10 extractors and place them on the ground. So we start with 6. We have to make 4 more, which we'll get to in a second. Now, one thing I don't like is that this tells you what is unlocked as of now. This does not tell you what's unlocked at level 2 or the next level. To me, this should say unlocked at next level would be this. Don't tell me what I have now, because I can see what I have over here. Tells you here, hints, build extractors to make iron, transfer iron in factory, build new extractors and assembly plants, use depots, collect and move containers. And you can't click through these because we haven't gotten any new ones. Again, I'm assuming this is what your planet eventually can look like down the line. So what we first have to do is find some iron, which we have iron right here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put down these. And remember, they work in a hexagonal grid. So if you place one over here, this one cannot connect to this. And everything so far kind of connects with these depots. And the way you're going to do it is depots have these little drones, and you have to set every single thing. Every time you place something, you have to set it unless you copy paste. So we're going to set this for iron, and then this little drone will start going from back and forth and just load this up. And I think you can hold 40 in this. So from here, the objective is we need to make extractors. Okay, extractors are made from steel bars, so it's pretty simple. And you use factories, something like this, and you make this into steel bar, and that's the only thing you can make, so it defaults to this. And then of course after that you have to go into a depot, of course, and then from there it doesn't tell you, when you hover over this, it doesn't tell you Do you make it in a factory or do you make it in an assembly plant? It does not tell you that. But we start with 2 assembly plants, put the 1 assembly plant down, and defaultly it goes to extractor. You could also do a depot. So we want to do extractor. Now, the way this system works is, some of this is very confusing to me. It's kind of, you got to get it, understand it as you go along, basically. Is each of these things tell you your annual production. I don't know if this is like annual per year, but is it per minute, per second, or is it just per year? This produces 15, and then but this one here produces 30, but it doesn't say how much it consumes. I guess it consumes 3 every 30. It just, some of it's a bit confusing to me. So in the store, I just run things like this. I don't know if down the line you can set these up with conveyor belts. Haven't gotten to that part of the demo, if there is a part at all. And you see the issue we have here is this wants to push this back to here. You know why? Because we didn't select steel bars. You always have to select your depots. And what that basically does is it goes from this to this to this to this. You see how it won't just jump across, which I don't understand. You can't just put an assembler next to a factory. It has to jump with these depots, which has the drones in it. So right now we are making extractors, and the way it works, these don't fill up. They'll just put them into your, I guess your inventory would be considered these slots here, whatever these finished slots are as your inventory. So this will make indefinitely until you run out of iron, because each of these have a certain amount. This one has 177, this is 170, 160. Still all run out roughly the same time. So if you're taking, like, it's producing 15 annually, but let's see what it drops down to if we do it like this. But you're basically, it only drops by 1 annually, but you're producing 15, so it's a bit confusing, if I'm honest with you. So I just set up these basic chains like this. So what we got to do is we're going to need a lot more of this iron setup here. So we're going to do a triple one here. We'll do one here. Oh, we need to put down, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we need to make 2 more. But we can start putting down some depots because we're going to need it. Again, you have to reset this to iron. So these are the different minerals you have at the moment. You don't use any of these other ones yet. Right now we're using iron. Do we have any more extractors? And the answer is we will very, very soon. We need 2 more extractors, which will complete our next objective, which will give us our next unlocked, which, well, we're not there yet, of course. This is going to go to here. And again, if you exhaust something, you can't just auto craft, you can't handcraft a depot. You have to craft it in an assembler, which is where it gets a little bit confusing / tricky. We have why do we have no extractors still? We should have, we have 3, and we have 3. So we need 1 more. Let's just wait for this one to tick over, because we will need, actually, it looks like it's going very, very slow, isn't it? Again, I don't understand the ratios for some of these things, because if you put this here, a depot here won't jump to this. I don't know how to connect these things up. It doesn't really make sense until conveyor belts are added, which I don't know if that's in the demo, because I haven't gotten to it yet. It does say transports, so we will see. Is this finished yet? Just about finished. I want to wait at the bottom right here. I want to wait for this to tick over. I want to place the last one to show you what the objective screen will then look like. So we have our last one here. You can place it, and this is what we just unlocked. We unlocked the ability, unlocked the ability to make mechanical parts, which are used to make buildings. We unlocked ability to make a factory and the ability to make an assembly plant. Like, we have these already, we just couldn't make them before. Again, confusing because it's like we have these already, but we couldn't make them, but we had some of them. The objective, our next level 2, is build 5 factories and place them on the ground. So we have 1 factory, we have 2 more here, 2, 3, but we have to start making mechanical parts because factories are made from, it tells you here what they're made from. Extractors are made from steel bar. So we're just going to let this go, and this is going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate extractors eventually. So now we want to get into making, make mechanical parts. So you put this in here. You make this is going to go into mechanical parts, but you need steel, so you can't do that. You have to go steel bar, then you have to go depot, all right, and then you have to go factory again, all right. You see a trend here, and then we have to go to depot again. This one here is going to be set to steel bars. This one is going to be set to mechanical parts, and then this here will be then set to mechanical parts. So every building has to have an output somewhere. Except the assemblers, they just get you can't put a extractor inside of a depot. These are for like intermediate, like basic minerals, and then intermediate stuff. It's not for buildings. Buildings get stored in your quote-unquote inventory, which doesn't make sense to me. So to make factories, we need to have an assembly plant, which look at that, we have one ready to go. And we want to make factories. So this line here will take ore into the depot, going into a factory. It's not a smelter, it's a factory that turns into steel bars. The steel bars go to the depot. The depot then goes to the another factory which makes mechanical parts, which go to the depot, which then go to the assembly plant. So it's very long chains of things just to get your basic like building blocks of the game. And then what we're going to run into in a second is we're out of assemblers. So we can't now, we're making extractors, we're making assemblers, or factories, excuse me, but we can't make assembly plants, nor can we make depots. But if we look here and say, uh-oh, well, we have this being made right now. This is full. We don't have any factories, but yes, we do have one factory. We can actually do it this way. But the problem is that this can make steel bars, and that's what goes into depots. We have no place to put this. So this can sit here, but the problem is that we have to now figure out a way to make depots from steel bars. But it's like, okay, we're making steel bars here. If we go into this, into steel bar production, we can't do it this way, right? So way we have to do it is we basically have to now transform one of these into this. So we have to take the extractor one that we're making, transform this into depots. Because guess what? Now we're not making extractors. We have extractors, which means we can come down to here, and we have to wait for our depots to be made, and then we can make a factory, which would go here, and then, oh, we unlocked our next objective. We place 5 factories, which we're not going to be quite there yet. This is where we make concrete, we make trucks, we make roads, road stops, and supply centers. This is the next one where we have to get to start making our population bigger. Build a supply center next to a city, bring in the resources required. This, my friend, is very confusing on how the road stops work and the supply centers. If you don't do it in the right order exactly, it's such a pain to redo. Trust me, I've done it many times. Supply centers just take concrete for some odd reason, but they do. So the next objective is to reach a population of 10 in your biggest city. Well, right now, all of our cities, we have 3 cities that each have 3. So there's no biggest city. You just pick one to be your biggest city. I guess you can see in the top right map where they are. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue doing what we were doing. And I want to get a depot placed here. The depot is going to be making, or it's going to be taking iron. This is going to be making steel bars, because this one now is making depots, remember? But we need to make more, what do they call it? More extractors. Now, we don't need them yet, but we will need them. So we got to wait for the depots to finish. We're making factories, which I can go right here. This factory can be set to make, actually, excuse me, not a factory. You hit delete to delete. We need to make an assembler, but guess what? We don't have assembly plants now. So we have factories being made, we have depots being made, but we're not making assembly plants. Assembly plants are made from mechanical parts. So because we have a bunch of factories, we now have to take this one, turn this one to make assembly plants, and then it'll make assembly plants. And then the weird thing is when you change this to something else, these stick. They don't go away, which I guess does make sense. Why are depots taking so long to produce? Steel bar. Steel bar. Steel bar. I guess this is taking a while because it takes 3 steel bar. Now we're going to be making assemblers. Are they any then finished yet? No. Again, I still don't know how to make this go faster, other than putting, I guess, an extractor here. This one, well, this one does have a 4 spots of 4. This one doesn't. I still know how to jump these together because you have to have them adjacent to your hexagonal grid. This one obviously is making more now because there's 4, but you can't place them in the middle because you can't place depots in the middle. Oh, you can. That is very weird. I didn't think you were able to do that before. Nonetheless, we're just going to continue on like this. So we're making depots, which is fine. We're making assembly plants, which is fine. Down here, we're basically doing nothing because we need to get depots made. Now, we have assembly plants, and we have depots being made. Depots being made, and we're having assembly plants being made. So in here, we're going to take the steel bar, and we're going to put this through into an assembly plant, because we want to turn the steel bar into what? Well, we're making assembly plants and we're making depots, but we're not making factories. But factories require mechanical parts. We can't actually do that. We take this, delete it, put a factory in, which turns it into mechanical parts. And then we put, guess what, another depot. And then we put an assembler. And then we put it back into making factories. We have depots being made, we have assembly plants being made, and we have factories being made. Except I have to set this to mechanical parts. Regardless of how it's set up, you can only have one thing housed at a depot at a time, which I guess makes sense. But again, things don't default to what it is based on what is hooked up previous. It doesn't work that way. So we're making depots, we're making assembly plants, and we're making factories, which is good. Do we need more extractors? Yes, we do. So now we got to get back to making extractors, but luckily they only take steel, and they can be made, I believe, something like this. We take a depot, put this one here. Again, we put these steel bars into here, and we turn this one into making extractors, and that just takes steel. So that's a pretty straight strut. So right now we're set up, and we're making one. Well, we have depots being made, we have extractors, we have factories, and we have assembly plants. We need to make more extractors. Now, if I put a depot, we actually don't have any depots. What's the problem here? It's taking forever is the problem. Things take, it's just, they're slow. Why they're slow, I don't know. I don't understand exactly ratios of things yet. Should we move all of this to in the middle here? I don't know if that's beneficial or not. I don't really know. But we have to start making more extractors, which we actually have. So let's go back to our objective bar here. We have to start making these things. Or sorry, we have these things. We need to start making supply centers to bring goods. That's where we're at. If you wonder what this is for, this is what your tutorial is. We basically have done all of this stuff already. And we should be able to buzz through all of this very, very quickly. And that's basically your tutorial. It takes you to not quite this stage. It takes you to the stage of making one of these, and then that's it. The rest you have to figure out on your own. Maybe as the game continues to be released, it'll be more of an involved tutorial. I don't know. Again, up here, we're ready at year 4, day 113. So, like, time is flying by on this planet. I don't know why it's kind of going this rate, but it is. But we can speed this up, by the way, because why not? So, this is running. We now have to get into making things like roads, but roads are made from concrete, and also road stops are made from concrete, and supply centers are made from concrete. So basically what we have to do is take what we're doing here and move it up to where we have sulfur being made, which is going to be right here. So again, it's basically the same exact thing. Let's put a depot down. Let's just try to put this one maybe in the middle. This depot is going to house what? It's going to house sulfur. And let's put 6 of these. We can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And then we're going to then put a factory, which the factory, is going to be making what? Making concrete. And then guess what? That has to go to, of course, you guessed it, a depot. And that has to be selected for concrete, which is fine. We need concrete to make roads and to make things like road stop. But the first thing I want to make is going to be a supply center. So let's plop down an assembler, and we can have this making supply centers. We only really need, well, we don't need tons yet, but let's just make a bunch. This should produce very, very quickly because of the way that this is set up. But as you see, like, we're producing at a very fast rate here because we have 5 machines digging at one time. But we want to go over to here again, and let's just go up to here, here, and then here, and then I guess that's it. So again, back where we were doing the iron, maybe it would make sense to do it more like this in the middle of the plant to make it go faster. You can do that as you wish. I just wanted to kind of show you the way that you have to, how the plants work. I mean, this looks very, very ugly, by the way. I kind of like doing it out like this, but again, you know, all about production. So we're gonna put this one here. We have our depot. Of course, you have to set it to sulfur. Sulfur is then going to go into a factory. The factory, of course, is going to make what? It's going to make concrete. And then, again, when you click on the road, it doesn't tell you what it makes it in. But you assume it's an assembler. So let's put this here. This is going to be dumping off the concrete. And then we want to go into an assembly point, which we're up to 10 already. And remember, like I said, is these are going to keep counting up and up and up. And as far as I know, there's no limit on how many you can have at one time. I don't know. So this here is going to be making roads. And of course, what do we do with the roads? We have to put those into this, and that will then take... Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. The roads we don't put into this. Excuse me there. So how many supply centers do we have? We have 8. Why do we have so many? Do we need so many? No, we don't. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put another assembly plant here, and I'm going to turn this one into making road stops. And then obviously this will just get, the items that are here will get put into here. You don't put these into the things. This is obviously making pretty quickly, so we could actually probably put another one of these here and change it to roads again. There we go. Or we could change it to making trucks. Trucks are made from mechanical parts. We actually can't do that up here. We have to make trucks down. Where's our other ore area here? So this could be better optimized if we put these in the middle, which for now we're just going to leave it as is. Maybe something like this will do. But again, you always, in the beginning, you have to kind of shuffle around different things. Your assemblers, you have to switch around because you only start with so many. You can only build them in a certain way, basically. So we have our iron here. Again, we're going to put this into a factory, and remember, we're going to have to go into 2 factories. We're going to have a depot here, and we're going to have a depot here. This is going to be turned into steel bars. This one here is going to be turned into mechanical parts, and now we have to turn that with an assembler into a truck. And again, this is indefinite. Like, it just makes them indefinitely. Do we put trucks into this? We do not. Trucks are one of the items that aren't actually listed anywhere here. They're just, you get them through your truck stop, your road stops. So what we got to continue on doing is we need to reach a population of 10 in the biggest city, and you do that by delivering what? Let's see. We were delivering. It doesn't tell you, but you deliver concrete basically. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to put a supply center right here. We're going to put a truck stop here, and we're going to put a truck stop up. Where's our concrete being made? Right here. So we're making a bunch of things here. We're making a bunch of stuff here, and then we're making roads. And I think what I also want to do is we have tons of roads at the moment, so which is fine. Like this, just let this continue on. Let's just make a bunch of concrete right here, something like this, and there you go. So you can see the benefit of having multiple machines at one thing. If things go by, I mean, I am having the game is sped up, but things still work at a lot more efficient, faster rate. You're not waiting as long for things to be produced. So this is making the sulfur. Okay, let's go back into the normal thing. Go to a factory, turn this into concrete, and that's pretty straightforward. And then we have to put down a depot, of course, which is going to be housing the, guess what, the concrete. And then here we put another truck stop there, and then the other truck stop is where is here. Now we have to connect the truck stops with roads, and it's, remember, it's in a hexagonal grid, so you can make it pretty straight, and then you have to just bring this one up like that. Now here's where it gets a little bit complicated, or tricky, I should say. You can't unload into one of these. You have to unload into a, guess what, into a depot. So we're actually going to put the depot here, and we're going to put this, we're going to move this over. I mean, we have tons of them already. Put this one here. Now, I believe this will work this way. Don't quote me on this, but it should. So the way you got to do this is destination. This is the supply, but it doesn't tell you that. This is going to be the origin. Is this one is the origin. Please work. Origin. And then this one down here is going to be the destination, and it's going to be concrete. There you go. Now, I believe this is wrong because it's set up to, well, maybe not. Let's see if it works. We have, why do we have no trucks? What, we're not making any trucks yet? Hold on. Did I mess something up down here? I don't think I did I? Again, the zooming in and out is a bit of a pain in the butt. We are making trucks. What did I, oh, I messed up here because I'm not actually producing mechanical parts, which is what trucks need. So this should go through. Let's just speed this up a little bit. We should start pumping out some trucks pretty quickly. Again, the zoom out feature is either here or it's here. It's very kind of confusing. So down here, we should, unless I did this backwards, but to me, it's going this way, which is not the way I want it to go. I had trouble doing this earlier. I want to put a couple trucks. Is this going to work? The answer is no. So basically this has to be set as the destination, and then this one here has to be set as the origin is going to be here, is going to be the origin, and then the destination is going to be, see, it's not, that's still not right. It's going to be, nope. Let's just erase this. Let's remove the line, okay? So this here is going to be the origin. This is the origin. But it doesn't like Ooh, that's some FPS drop there. It doesn't necessarily work that way because this is not showing as that. You have to then come down here to destination, which is going to be this, which is working now. See, and it again, you want to have the arrows going to destination. We have a bunch of trucks. Let's line the trucks up. This should be bringing concrete down right now. Ah, it is working. So where the arrows are pointing in, that means it's an input, and the arrows are pointing out is the output. And again, this goes into a depot, and the depot then feeds it to this. And as you're going to see, is our population. Where is it going to be? It's going to be here. So you need to supply it 3 times. Supply to city New Jakarta because they're next to each other, of course. We have more trucks. Let's put some more trucks in. Eventually, they will back up if you have too many. But again, this can only go so fast. And I just want to get to our next population, which you already hit 4. So you basically have to deliver. Let's see. We'll tick over to 5 because the supply has to stay good. No, I think you have to do it 3 times because there was 1 and it didn't tick over. And again, it can only go so fast. This one ticked over again. Let's see. Let's get to 10 and let's see what we actually unlock. So I think it looks like you have to go through this 2 times, like 2 cycles to get. Let's just speed it up a bit. There's no reason to wait for this. I want to get this to 10 to show you what we unlock next, and then maybe we will call it for this episode part of the demo. We're up to 8. Uh-oh, that sounds like a traffic jam somewhere. We hit our level 4 complete. Let's just pause the game. So objective now is to reach a population of 100. So we have a population of 10 in this city. Now we have to get to 100, and now they start using or needing. I don't know why all these noises are here, by the way. That's kind of weird. Bigger cities require new resources. Now we unlocked aluminum bars, basically the same way we do the steel bars. Carbon, which is made from carbon ore, which I don't know where that is. We have O2, raw materials. We have atmosphere extractor. This takes aluminum. This extracts oxygen or dioxygen and carbon. I thought oxygen was O2. Anyway, from the atmosphere, continue to produce it at least one output is not full. And then landmark towers displays a custom text in the main view of the minimap. So this is just basically like a beacon. So carbon and O2 materials from aluminum, and this is where we start, I guess, terraforming the planet, I guess, based on this. So we're going to go this back to normal speed. This is still going to do its thing. I'm not going to touch any of this stuff here. We have a good supply of other buildings. We have tons of assembly plants, tons of extractors, tons of factories, tons of supply centers. This is new atmospheric extractor, extracts dioxygen and carbon from the atmosphere. Continue to produce if at least one output is not full. Interesting. So I wonder what you put into this. And here, this is still the same here, but we have tons of all of these things, which is really, really good. And down here we have special buildings, which is going to be your beacon, which is by concrete. But again, you have to make these, everything that's in here, you have to make in an assembler or in a factory. You can't handcraft anything. So I think we have to start working on getting aluminium or aluminum, as most people say it, which I think is going to be over here. So let's set up a couple, we're going at normal speed here. Let's set up a bunch of extractor areas here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 there. Again, we have all the base things ready to go, but like I said before, you have to always choose what goes into it. So we're going to put aluminum ore into this. We're going to put this going into a factory, which is going to produce it into what? Aluminum bar. The aluminum bar, of course, has to go to a depot or a depot. And that's going to go into here because it's basically raw material. I mean, this is more so raw material. Or it's not raw anymore. These would be more raw, but again, nonetheless, we're not going to argue with how the game plays out. This is O2, this is carbon, but it doesn't say how you make it, how you manufacture it. Aluminum bar, and then we also need, we're making aluminum bars, and now we need mechanical parts and aluminum bar. So we somehow have to get mechanical parts from here up to here, which we do that, I believe here with the supply center. So let's just set up a basic setup here. So we're going to have this one here, and we're going to have this one here. This one's going to be taking in aluminum bar. This one here is going to be bringing in what? Oh, I could say there they are, mechanical parts. We're going to have 2 of these. We'll have one here, and we'll have one here, and then I don't know. I'm assuming these are made in an assembly plant. let's just find out. If we can we make it in assembly plants? We can make, yes, we can. So we have to do exactly what we did before. We have to bring our road system up to over to here. I'm just going to kind of stick these wherever at this point. I don't really care that much. So we're going to go to here and we're going to go to there. This one here, we're at the depot now, which this is going to go right here. This is going to be the origin right here, of course. There's always weird FPS drops when you click on something like that. Like, the FPS is very weird right now. And we're going to have this one come down to here. And this depot here is going to be set to aluminum bar, which of course it is. This is going to be the destination, which is going to be here. And then no, it has to be destination is going to be this one. The origin is going to be this one here. Come on. Is it going to work? And we're going to be producing, we're going to be bringing in aluminum bars. So we are picking up aluminum bars. If you have it where the arrows are pointing in, that's the load area. And then down here where the arrows are pointing, come on camera, are pointing out, that is the unload section. So we're unloading to here aluminum bars, and we have to do the same thing with mechanical parts, which are being made. Again, the zooming of this game is very, very odd to me. So mechanical parts, we're not actually making mechanical parts. We're making trucks here. How many trucks do we have, literally? We must have 1,000 freaking trucks. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into here and we're just going to change this into concrete. What can we make that's new? Nothing. So what I want to do is I actually just want to cut this. We don't need this anymore. I want to start making, we want to make more what? Actually, we don't have to make more anything. We need to make mechanical parts, which here we are producing factories. I should just let this alone, honestly, because this is producing mechanical parts, and these are mechanical parts. So what we'll do is we'll slap a little depot, or all the depots there. Put this here. I don't know how roads work as far as jumping over things. I guess we'll figure that out when we get to that point. We can just do something like this. Oh, then I want to bring this up to, come on, where are we at here? There we go. It's going to go up to this one. And then we're going to click on this one, is going to be the destination. And then this one down here is going to be the origin. And this should ask me what I want to put in here. And this is going to be mechanical parts. There you go. Nope, that's set up wrong anyway. This has to be the origin. Origin is going to be this one. Let's just wipe it. So let's start here. Origin is here. See the FPS drop? And then the destination is going to be all the way up here. Nope, that's destination. Destination is here. And then, see, this is so confusing. I don't understand why this is so hard with this game. And then this is going to be the origin. Origin is going to be here. All right, origin. Okay, set origin here. But I don't want the arrows that way. And then we want to go here is going to be the other one. And this is going to be mechanical parts. And that's not right anyway. This has to be let's just inverse it to. There we go. Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. My gosh. How many trucks do we have going at this? We have one truck. Let's just we have tons of trucks. Let's just start unloading this like crazy. And that means we have to come all the way back here again to this. And why are we not getting aluminum ore here? What's the problem? Oh, we have no trucks. I bet we have no trucks on the line, right? Let's load up a bunch of trucks. We have tons of trucks, tons of aluminium, and I'm sure you can eventually set this huge network of roads, because I want to start making some atmospheric extractors to see what that's all about. And it shouldn't take too long, really. We have to make 3 mechanical parts, which are coming in right there. Here we go, and we have our first one. Let's just put it right here, and then it's pulling in. Oh, do we have to? I bet you we have to put this and this. That looks like they're linked, which is very weird. O2 in this one, and I want to put carbon in this one. Hey, there we go. Cool. So we're producing this stuff. What this is used for, it doesn't say. Extract oxygen and carbon from the atmosphere. Continue to produce if at least one output is not full. It produces basically one of one. So as long as one of these isn't full, it'll continue to produce, which doesn't make any sense because how would it produce if you don't have two free? Don't know. Again, there's no other hips here because we did all these already, of course. So this is producing this. So the next thing we have to do is get to our largest city, which is going to be New Jakarta. And we are hugely backed up here because, oh, we need O2 now. So that's the other issue. So let's put another one of these here. And remember, one of these truck stops, I don't think you can have these going to the same spot. I don't know. But basically, this one here is going to be set to making O2. And then we're going to connect this all the way up to, where we at here? This is going to be set to the O2, which is going to be here. This one here is going to be here, like that. This is going to be the destination. I mean, I made it a lot easier now because you can click on that button. And then you just do this to, oh my God, what did I do there? Okay, I guess they share the routes to there. And this is going to be O2. And then this is going to be, this is fine. We have to add some trucks. Perfect. So this is very not correct. Apparently they can share lines, but I mean, where are the trucks at? We should have trucks over here somewhere. Yeah, they are. Awesome. So the other question I have is, can you jump two of these together? I mean, you'd think the answer would be yes. You can. Okay, good. Because carbon right now we have no use for it. We're actually in winter and summer in the southern hemisphere. We're kind of in the, where are we at on the map? The north. Yeah, we're way in the north. So let's go back to here. And these are backed up because there's nowhere to put this. This is going to start taking, here we go. Are we putting it in now? Perfect. O2 is what we need. We actually, this is expanding because this used to be 1. Now it's expanding to this, to this, to this, which is kind of neat how it expands. Right now, we have to get the population to 100. So let's speed this way, way, way up. We're making, oh, it's expanding already. Oh, this is almost like how the game of Civilization works. You don't unlock anything. We have these, which is basically pointless. You hear that noise? I don't know why there's noises like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. We need to start bumping up the rate at which this is working. So I think what we could do is we could actually put another one over here, all right, and we could probably put another one over here, and we could put another one over here, and all we got to do here is then put an output here that's going to be the carbon, which is here, and we can basically put another output over here, which is going to be the carbon as well, because all the we have no use for carbon as of yet based on what we have unlocked. We just don't, so which is fine, but we're actually pumping out a lot more. We need to pump how many trucks? Let's get all the trucks because I want our population to skyrocket, and we should be making trucks still. Where are we making our trucks at? Down here. Whoopsies, sorry guys. Again, the camera controls could be better. We're doing fine here. We're making trucks. Oh, we're not actually making trucks at all anymore, are we? Because we're putting the mechanical parts in here. So let's put an assembler here, so we can actually start making some more trucks, which may take mechanical parts, and that'll just be making it like that. And wow, those things are going extra fast, which is kind of what we want. And we want this to be maxed out on trucks like crazy. Let's just keep pumping trucks and trucks and trucks. We're at 40 population. Let's see what our city looks like. Oh, look at that. So basically it expands based on where the tiles are available. These look like, I mean, it doesn't tell you there's solar panels. This looks like a little blah, blah, blah. As far as I know, the atmosphere isn't changing. There's no water. Ooh, that was not what I wanted to do. There's no water anywhere. Mineral, so I don't know as far as that goes, but we're at 72 already. I want to see what happens when we hit 100 population. It's going to come very, very quickly. We're back into fall and spring because the southern hemisphere is always opposite of the northern hemisphere. Like if this is considered like an Earth-like planet, I guess we're at 76, 75. We're like, it's going so fast that it's just resetting itself, which is good. Like boom, 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 game saved, auto save, 81, 82. I don't know why this sounds like there's a noise of trucks crashing. But based on this, it does look like they can share roads. And they could probably, no, they can't share depots because you have to have a select depot. We're at 91. We're going to be hitting, it goes tick over, tick over, tick over, boom, boom, boom. It needs, I think, 3 of these to bump the population up by 1. Right now we're lacking the O2, which we might actually have a problem because because this is actually full. So if we middle click, you can actually copy paste, like your middle mouse button click will copy paste a recipe and or a building in general. I'm going to slow this down. Once we hit 99, I'm going to slow it way down because I want to see it tick over. Probably about 2 more seconds. Oh, we're back into summer and fall, or spring and fall already. Again, this has to go, how many times? 3 cycles to get 1 population? Something like that. It's weird how it actually works. Because it's at 97, 97, and all of a sudden it'll just jump up. There we go. Look at it. Now it jumped to 107, just like that. Why? I don't know. But guess what, guys? We completed the demo. And I wish I could see this. Looks like we're getting into polymer bars, depots, manufactured products. I can't... Oh, this is high-tech parts. Reinforced concrete, polymer. This is, oh, here we go. Plastic waste, interesting. Depot MK2. Ooh, stores containers, collect them from adjacent producers' buildings. Ooh, a 2-hex range. That's awesome. I can't click off of this. I can't, like, click. Oh, I can click that. I can go, oh, never mind. I can't. Whoops, that brings up Steam. Yeah, I can't do that either way. You can't click off of this to tell you what's next. So apparently it looks like based on MK2 stuff is that these all get bumped up in upgrades. We haven't gotten any terraforming ready to go yet. We have no plants. So I'm assuming all this will help terraform the actual planet. We have no water, of course, or anything yet. So that is the demo, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this game, make sure you wishlist it on Steam. Go over, pick up the demo. You probably get maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of gameplay. If you're just new to the game, probably an hour and a half of gameplay to kind of figure everything out. You can do everything very, very basic like I did here, or you can set up supply chains and proper ratios and all that kind of complex stuff. But once the game comes out, I think there's a lot of potential here. But as of now, you know, it's limited, and the information that you have at hand is very, very limited, of course. But that's fine. We can go back to the main. No, we can't go to the main menu, can we? We can just go back to quit, and that is the demo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hit that subscribe button. Really help out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next game demo. Take care now.